last topic of the episode, man. I know a lot of people, I don't know, but a lot of people have been talking about this. If the Warriors win, Steph is the new player of the generation.
LeBron James.
I don't think so, but a lot of people have
How
been
I-
having a conversation. A lot of people have been saying that Curry ties Bron in rings. That he revolutionized the game of basketball in his new era. He's the new player of the generation. What do y'all think?
I don't know if I can say that. I mean, I think he's had an era. This is definitely but even in this era, LeBron went to almost every. Well, LeBron was in every final he was in except one.
It's LeBron James. Let's cut this short.
I went through high school and college, and LeBron was in every final.
Look, I know it's LeBron. I just brought it up because I heard a lot of people, a lot of sports, it's been a topic on Twitter. It's been a topic on sports shows as well. So I just want to bring it up and see what y'all think. I'm glad that y'all are not delusional and prisoners of the moment because LeBron is the player of the generation. It's not even close.
I mean,
LeBron's close with Curry second, but
LeBron has gone to 3 different organizations and they've won. And granted, LeBron has played with players though. You know, he's played with championship players, but I mean, every team needs players to complement. You can't.
Yeah, bro. That argument doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah,
he's had good players. Yes, I would hope so.
Yeah, you need to. It's impossible to win without good players.
LeBron's had. I mean,
hey, ask somebody go.
Right.
Curry had.
But ask somebody go to their job. Ask somebody go to their job with all bums and work at your job all day, every day. How that's gonna feel?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I like Steph Curry. I think he did revolutionize the game. I do think he's a cheat code. I think it's really hard to guard what he does, and he's gonna be able to do it for a very long time. But he's gonna have to do a lot to even sniff LeBron James in terms of just anything. I mean, yeah, rings is one thing, but I mean, and I was listening to some today, and they were talking about the old LeBron versus Jordan GOAT talk, and I forgot who was talking, but they made a good point. They were basically saying that whatever your GOAT criteria is, that's what you're going to talk about your players on. For some people, rings is what they care about. So that's why they'll always give the nod to Jordan because 6 for 6, he never lost in rings, blah, blah, blah. Rings is what they decide to lean on or whatever. So if you decide to lean on maybe impact and the fact that he changed the game, if that's what you decide to lean on, then, I mean, that's what you're going to go with. But in terms of longevity, success, skill, height, weight, just natural ability, just things that God-given things that you can't. It has to be LeBron. LeBron's 6'8". You don't want to just narrow it down to that, but LeBron is big. He's big and he can play every position. How can you say that Steph Curry, who can't play every position, is better than LeBron James? I don't know. I don't think you can, but I do understand that everybody has their own criteria to the GOAT conversation. I get it. So, I mean, we're definitely going to grow up with a lot of kids who think Steph Curry is the greatest player of all time, which is weird to say.
Especially if he wins a championship, people are going to say that Curry's better than LeBron.
Yeah, there's definitely going to start.
Because I literally saw people, if LeBron's in that GOAT conversation and if Curry wins another chip, then you should put Curry in that GOAT conversation too. I've literally heard people say that.
Even though it don't work like that at all. Does not work like that at all.
Who's y'all GOAT?
LeBron.
I don't even like
really.
Talking about, I don't even like.
Yeah, LeBron's my GOAT.
It's generational, bro. It could be LeBron.
He just saw The Last Dance and he couldn't say it no more. I was like, I can't.
Nah, I didn't. I never said LeBron was GOAT. Yeah, I'm not saying. I never said Bron was GOAT. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say.
I do agree that it's generational. I think LeBron is GOAT.
It is. I distinguish it though, because I think greatest means something different than best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I think LeBron is the best player this league has ever seen, hands down. But I think Jordan is the greatest because of what he accomplished. The same thing with like Tom Brady. You know, he's not the most athletically gifted. Peyton was probably smarter than him, but he's the greatest. He's the most accomplished. That's my GOAT criteria. Like what you
That's fair.
accomplish. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great way to
Like best player would probably be like, you know, someone like Deion Sanders or like Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, you know, because they were the best. You know what I'm saying? Best of their talent. Or even Aaron Rodgers. Like is you know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to look at it.
That's a great way to look at it.
I mean,
I don't think Steph is either one of those. So
he's
not up there with those two. He's not up there with those two. So he's never.
I think that goes well with your argument of saying Curry's the best point guard. I think Curry, you can make the argument Curry's the best point guard of all time, but Magic's the greatest point guard of all time.
Yeah. See, now you getting it. Yeah. Steph is the OC, and Magic ain't had no left hand.
The way I put the way I put LeBron's kind of conversation is, I just think he played against the highest level of talent. I think that his talent was the teams that he played against in the finals were better than the teams Jordan played against in the finals.
Absolutely.
He played against all-time great teams. Like if you were to rank all-time teams, I think more of LeBron, the teams that LeBron faced, would be in the all-time teams as opposed to the teams Jordan faced. And they would be ranked much higher than the opponents that Jordan played against. He played against those Spurs teams. He played against the Warriors teams.
73-9 plus KD.
Even that people try to discredit that Mavs team, but that Mavs team was special. I remember they were struggling at the beginning of the season. Then I remember after like All-Star break, they went on like a 20-game win streak or something crazy. It was something crazy. Like they were a really good team.
But he went against the Spurs. He went against the best power forward. Then he had to go against Steph, the best point guard. Then he had to go against Dirk, top 3 power forward. And then he had to go KG in the Eastern Conference, another top 3 power forward. And he had to go against KD, a top 3 small forward.
Yeah,
these are all-time players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And people love to look at the record, but you got to put that into context. Look at the team that was composed, the team that LeBron was playing against, and look at his team, and look at how much. I mean, granted, the Heat lost. You can argue that his roster was better, even though I think top to bottom, I think the Mavs had a better roster. But you can argue. If somebody said that the Heat roster was better, I will argue with them. But for those from top to bottom, I think those Spurs teams were better. Huh? You said what?
Heat roster was better.
Okay, I wouldn't argue with that. But for those Spurs rosters, the Spurs had a better roster. Those Golden State rosters, the Golden State had a better roster against the Cavs, especially when they added KD. Yeah. They had a way better roster. So I mean, I just think I think he's faced a harder path, and his dominance has just been undeniable. But you can say the same thing about Jordan, so that's why I understand Jordan.
Even the COVID championship, he had to play in a bubble where they couldn't leave. They're living a life that NBA players don't normally live, and a lot of players were complaining about how hard it was to be in that bubble. So, I mean,
that's when I thought AD was the one. Side note, I'm sorry, but continue. Sorry.
I don't like how people try to put an asterisk on that championship. Like that was the most fair championship for everybody. Neutral floor, no fans. We just hooping.
Basketball,
man. But I think it's one of those things that it's gonna be the older people always gonna try to put, whoever your GOAT is. I mean, I think it's even gonna be us with Steph or whoever comes after Steph. It's gonna be we're gonna find all the reasons why that person LeBron would have, it's gonna be one of those things. People have their GOAT already made up. I don't think you can really convince. Actually, I think I was convinced. I was convinced. I used to think that Michael Jordan was the GOAT. I used to always argue that LeBron wasn't. And then after the Warriors comeback win, I said LeBron was the GOAT because that was crazy. I think in difficulty. I think that was the highest.
He won the 2 hardest championships.
Yeah,
I would argue he won the 2 hardest championships.
Yeah, I would argue, definitely for sure.
All right. Well, everybody stop saying that Curry's better than LeBron because he's not.
Yeah. We got on a tangent and we were talking about Jordan, which is a real conversation. We're not talking about Steph Curry because that's not a real conversation. It's LeBron James.
I would just also like to say Curry has never won a Finals MVP.
Facts.
So,
facts. And then people
that you can't. He's not.
People try to discredit that Andre Iguodala Finals MVP, but I mean if it wasn't for Andre Iguodala, they would have won. They would have lost those finals. I promise you. You look back and watch it. I promise you, they would have lost those games.
It's so funny that he got that.
They gave it to the people guarding LeBron.
He actually was playing well.
But it's funny because he held LeBron to like 30 or something.
They slowed him down.
That's the funny part. Yeah, he slowed him down, but it's like, here goes this NBA Finals MVP because you held him on only 35.
They did the same thing to Kawhi. They gave him the championship to hold LeBron to 28, 9-9, or something crazy like that.
No, but I remember in that series, every time the Cavs looked like they were making a run, Andre Iguodala would hit a big shot. Like I remember that, like every time, because I forget who I was rooting for. I think I was tired of the Heat. I mean, I was tired of LeBron. So I was rooting for the Warriors. And I remember every time the Cavs were on a run, I'd be like, yes, the Cavs are. Yeah, I'd be like, man, the Cavs about to win, man. And Andre Iguodala would hit like a crazy shot. I'm like, oh, Andre Iguodala keeping us in this one. Like he deserved that. He deserved that MVP.
Oh, so you've been a hater.
When it comes to LeBron, I'm not gonna lie. When LeBron first went to the Heat, I was hating.